That's right. It's KP's Video News, y'all. Yep. So we're going to kick it off, folks. We're going to kick it off here. Uh, Black History Month. And I'm going to start it off with a person that a lot of you younger people probably never saw her or whatever, but she did a lot of work and a lot of TV shows and movies, early movies in the '60s, and so without further ado, I'm going to give credit, and we're going to do an article here. I'm going to start it off on black actress Ena Hartman. Ena Hartman is an unsung trailblazer of Hollywood, and whose smaller roles in the 1960s productions helped create a pathway for African Americans in film and television. African American actresses working in the 70s benefited from the trail Hartman helped blaze. Ena Hartman, who was born on April 1st, 1935, in Moscow, Arkansas, the daughter of sharecroppers, she was raised by her grandparents. At age 13, she moved to Buffalo, New York to live with her mother, and she dropped out of high school to open a restaurant, handling the duties of cook and waitress as she tried to earn money to go to New York to become a model. She was discovered by a photographer in the lobby of a modeling agency that had just rejected her. Soon, she landed other modeling jobs, and she studied drama with John Shelley and Lloyd Richards. In the early 1960s, NBC Television sponsored a talent competition for young actors and actresses, and her talents were brought to the attention of the vice president of talent relations for NBC. The network extended her talent contract, which meant that she would be trained and developed as an actress to appear in NBC programming. She thus became the first African American to have such a contract with a major television network, and also the first African American woman to sign a contract with NBC. Her roles were small at first. She appeared in the series Bonanza, 1964, and the Profiles in Courage, 1965, and then with the spy movie Our Man Flint, in 1966. In 1966, she left NBC and appeared in the television movie Fame is the Name of the Game, and made a brief appearance as a member of the Enterprise crew on the TV series Star Trek, the episode called The Carbonite Maneuver. And other appearances included the TV show Tarzan and the popular television series Ironside, from 67 to 69. She finished the 1960s with appearances in the psychological thriller Games, 1967, and the television movie Prescription Murder in 1968, starring Peter Falk in his debut as Columbo. She was in the beginning of Columbo. All right. 1968, Hartman also appeared in a number of other television shows, such as Adam 12, It Takes a Thief. She almost landed a role co-starring Elvis Presley in Change of Habit, but actress Barbara McNair received that role. A break-in role might have been in a proposed movie co-starring Sidney Poitier about the life of actress Dorothy Dandridge, with Dandridge having personally approved Hartman to play her role. But after Hartman and film officials negotiated details, Poitier, who was one of Hollywood's most popular actors at the time, decided in the final stages to pass on the project. In 1970, she had a small role in a flight attendant in the box hit movie Airport. Hartman then became a regular police dispatcher, Katie Grant, for 2 seasons on the television series Dan August, starring Burt Reynolds. After the series ended, she played Carmen Sims in the movie Terminal Island with Tom Selleck. Three television movies created by editing together episodes of Dan August were broadcast in 1980. By that time, Hartman had retired from the movie industry, and there it's going to be an upcoming autobiography, an autobiography that's in the works, that's in the works right now. And as soon as I get a chance to get more information, on her, they had an article in a magazine that's coming up. It's a recent magazine. It's coming up. It's coming up. And as soon as I get that information, I'll revisit uh, this particular person. Is pretty fascinating. Ena Hartman. She's the lady that blazed the trail for a lot of actresses in the '70s. And one thing that I was told was that when it came down to it, uh, she didn't really want to get involved with the so-called black exploitation movies, and which is a good thing, because some of those movies were pretty, they put you in a bad light. It's derogatory, a lot of them, you know, but you still have to give her props, and that's Ena Hartman. Okay, folks. So you know a lot of things that have been going on, and there's a lot of classic songs out here, a lot of classic songs. But I'm gonna go. Well, let me go do this story first. They have some stick with the actresses, black actresses. They have a black Italian actress that describes racist messages on live TV, and she says she received online harassment for the color of her skin after it was announced she would appear as a guest on Italy's uh, annual San Remo Music Festival. And see, Lorena Monroe Casarini, 34 years old, read some of the messages to the audience during Wednesday night's broadcast of the festival on RAI state television. They invited you because you're black. Read one message that said she did not deserve to be there. She quoted another that read, "Maybe they called you to do some work there, like watering the plants." Cesarini said at the time that she had been the target of racism growing up in Italy, and that the messages started as soon as it was reported that she would be the guest of the festival. Evidently, for someone, the color of my skin is a problem, said the actress best known for a role in Italian serial drama Suburra. Cesarini, was born in Dakar, Senegal, to a Senegalese mother and Italian father, received shouts of support from the live audience, including one male man who yelled, "You're Italian," which she responded, "Yes, and proud." She told the audience that she remained perplexed by the messages. Why do people feel the necessity to write such things on social media? Why do people have a problem with the color of my skin? Incidents of racism in Italy have drawn more attention in recent years. Both public and private Italian TV have come under fire for the persistent use of racist language and imagery, and the failure to generally represent second generation Italians of African and Asian descent as integral to society. Black Italian designers have also been pushing for more representation in the fashion world. Miranda said her monologue uh, are the reason why we're doing the work we are doing, uh, said Nichelle Nagomo, head of Afro Fashion Week Milan, who has been helping develop a database of black creative working in Italy and promoting young designers of color. So the president, Mattarella, called racism and anti-Semitism intolerable aggressions during the wide-ranging remarks to lawmakers after being sworn in for extraordinary term on Thursday. So, all this stuff goes on, man. It goes on. It goes on, and the beat goes on. We got to keep on pushing, regardless of what these people think, what they say. You got to keep on pushing, man. Got to keep pushing. So it's So this is a story here that did you know? Did you really know that James Brown, Godfather of Soul, get up, James Brown was the first Black American to own a private jet. That's right, James Brown, the Godfather of Soul, the hardest working man in show business, the king of funk. The list goes on. Yet there's one title he's known for that had nothing to do with his iconic stage performances, but highlights the fact that he defied the odds. When the King of Soul purchased a Learjet 23 in 1966, he became the first Black American to own a private jet. This was during a time when Black Americans were still fighting for equality, even though the Civil Rights Act was passed just 2 years earlier. The Learjet 23 was introduced in 1964 as an American 6 to 8 seater twin jet. It was a game changer at the time as it revolutionized business transport and it created a new market for fast and efficient small jet transports, according to the Museum of Flight. Buying a plane reportedly allowed James Brown to perform more than one show across multiple cities in a day. While the Lear was a private plane, the people knew of the most. Brown had previously owned a Beech H-18 aircraft, which was the same plane that crashed in Wisconsin's Lake Monona, killing the soul singer Otis Redding. By the 1970s, Brown was forced to sell his Learjet to pay back taxes he owed the IRS. He, who many in this circle call an aviation buff, loved planes and later leased a Learjet 24. One of his dreams was to fly on the Airbus A330, the world's largest passenger aircraft that can seat anywhere from 500 to 800 passengers. But Brown's dream was never fulfilled because he died in 2006 after a week-long battle with pneumonia. As for the Airbus, nicknamed Super Jumbo, Airbus announced in 2021 that it would discontinue the plane because of lack of orders. So if you plan to honor James Brown, your best bet is to fly the Emirates Airlines, as the airline is the largest fleet of 380s, A380 Airbus aircraft. So hop on that aircraft, fly over to Bahrain somewhere. Think about old JB, Godfather of Soul. First Black plane owner, jet owner in the United States. Okay, I'm gonna give you a list here. This is Black History here. So we have 20 classic songs that you did not know were written by Black songwriters. That's right. February is Black History Month, and to celebrate, here are some classic songs that you may not have known were written by these talented Black songwriters. It Takes Two, performed by Marvin Gaye and Kim Weston, was written by Sylvia Moy and William Mickey Stevenson. Okay. So Great Balls of Fire, performed by Jerry Lee Lewis, was written by Otis Blackwell and Jack Hammer. All right. Manic Monday, song performed by the Bangles, was written by Prince. I'm Every Woman, originally performed by Chaka Khan, was written by Nick Ashford and Valerie Simpson. Human, performed by the Human League, was written by Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. Number 6, You Got It, The Right Stuff, performed by New Kids on the Block, was written by Maurice Starr, another Black songwriter. Holla Back Girl, performed and co-written by Gwen Stefani, was co-written by Pharrell Williams. Ain't no Holla Back Girl, huh? Where Are You Christmas, performed by Faith Hill, was co-written by Mariah Carey. All right. High Hopes, performed by Panic at Panic at the Disco, was co-written by Taylor Parks, Black female Taylor Parks. The Lion Sleeps Tonight, performed by the Tokens, was originally recorded by Solomon Linda in Africa, like around the early part of the 1900s. So they changed it. They changed the name. I have to go back, but I did see that one. Anyway, Take a Bow, number 11, performed by Rihanna, was co-written by Neo. Firework, performed by Katy Perry, was co-written by Esther Dean. One in a Million, performed by Aaliyah, was co-written by Missy Elliott and Timberland. When the Levee Breaks, performed by Led Zeppelin, was written by Memphis Minnie. That was a black blues, female blues player back in the 50s. So Why Do Fools Fall in Love, performed by Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers, was co-written by Lyman and band members Jimmy Merchant and Herman Santiago. And Nothing Compares to You, performed by Sinead O'Connor, again written by Prince. We Are the World, performed by supergroup USA for Africa, was written by Michael Jackson and Lionel Richie. Okay, you guys remember that song, We Are the World? And they had about 50 musicians on there, We Are the World. Okay, go to YouTube. Anyway, Play, performed by Jennifer Lopez, was written by Christina Milian and Corey Rooney. 19, Fascination, performed and co-written by David Bowie, was also co-written by Luther Vandross. And number 20, Where Do Broken Hearts Go, performed by Whitney Houston, was written by Chuck Jackson. Yeah, man. So we got a lot of talent out there. A lot of talent out there, man. You know, just doing a lot of good things and a lot of big things still. But those were a few songs that I didn't know who wrote them. And I thought, hey, it is what it is. Now, moving on, and there's still a lot of talent. It's a 16-year-old teen. 16-year-old black teen launches 2020 I Matter Poetry and Art Competition with the NBA and NFL players as judges. Isabella Hanson, 16-year-old student from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, launched the I Matter Poetry and Art Competition in 2020 to provide a platform for youth to express their feelings on the important issues of racial justice and equality. The competition, which raises awareness and promotes dialogue, calls upon students around the world to create poetry and art on the topic of why Black Lives Matter. The 2020 judges are Ron Covington of NBA's Portland Trail Blazers, Malcolm Jenkins of NFL New Orleans Saints, a Little League superstar Monet Davis, and I Matter founder Isabella Hanson. In 2020, approximately 150 students from 26 states utilized the I Matter program to share powerful messages on equality. By 2021, it grew to 650 students from 42 states and 30 countries participated in the I Matter program to create work on the topic of social justice to celebrate the winners and promote their work. The top poems and art were made into a hard cover book. Copies were donated to schools and libraries to provide a positive resource for education and students seeking support in their subject of equality. The I Matter competition is open to the United States-based and international students K through 12. The top 10 finalists win $100 and their work is included in the 2020 I Matter book. One grand prize will receive $500 and all winners will have their work included in the I Matter book, which will be released later in 2022. Entries must be received by July 23rd, 2022. And to enter or for more information, please visit nationalyouthfoundation.org / the letter I dash matter, MATTER. So that's National Youth Foundation, org.org / the letter I dash matter. And yeah, that's pretty cool. right there to get the kids involved. And keeping it with the theme of movies and filmmaking and talent and art and all that, we have a filmmaker to release an animated film that addresses childhood obesity, a young black youth. So the Double V campaign, created by Pittsburgh Courier and supported by the black press, captured and gave voice to the frustration of African American soldiers who fought valiantly overseas during World War II, only to return to the same racial restrictions they had left. While the campaign for democracy remains vital for African Americans, in equally critical sphere of doom looms over the protesters' descendants and warrants the attention and support of the black press. The sphere of doom is childhood obesity, and the state of obesity. The publication by Robert Woods Foundation uh, reports that between 2019 and 2020, the childhood obesity rate for black youth ages 10 through 17 was 28.3%. Studies show that children today may be the first generation of children to have shorter lives than their parents. For black children, especially those growing up in urban areas serving the black newspapers, the future looks even more bleak, absent immediate intervention, and the intervention must take into account how black children learn and what they enjoy. Otherwise, it won't work. Since its inception in 2005, Nuts About Health, a nonprofit health education organization, has been trying to find the right vehicle to reach and teach children and their parents how to prevent childhood obesity. And 2 years ago, the organization asked questions: what are kids doing all day, every day, over and over, in every American household? Watching animated films, it was an epiphany that led the organization to write Nutsville, the movie, an animated full-length, full-feature 2D characters film that follows the adventures of a young nut and his three friends on their journey to self-discovery and optimal health. The three friends tackle the obesity monster and his poor health eating agents, Mr. Fry and Little Chip. Ah, that's pretty good. All right. For those who wish to support Nutsville, the movie, Nuts About Health Incorporated is accepting donations of this project. And you can just Google Nutsville, the movie, Nuts About Health Incorporated. And, once you do that, then you'll get all that information. And telling you, man. So I'm going to finish with this one story here. We have L. Smith has made history as yet another African American woman to win the 2021 Miss USA competition. The winners of the past 3 years have been black women, and now Smith is set to compete in the upcoming Miss Universe pageant. She bested 50 women from across the nation and won the crown in this year's Miss USA pageant. She excelled during the swimsuit and evening gown competitions and has displayed outstanding performance on the questions and answer portion, on which she eloquently stated how businesses can be more environmentally conscious. Smith, who has had a passion for writing since she was a child, started working as a local TV reporter at Louisville ABC affiliate. In October 2020, she was graduating from the University of Kentucky with a BA degree in broadcast journalism and a minor in political science. In her college years, she became the vice president of the University of Kentucky's National Association of Black Journalists chapters, and she was also a reporter and videographer for school publications. She loves traveling, and she actually moved to different cities for internships and studies. Smith, whose first pageant was when she won Miss Kentucky in May 2021, will go on to represent the United States in the Miss Universe pageant in December 2022. Okay, congratulations. Congratulations to you, Miss L. Smith. Congratulations to you, Miss Ena Hartman. Ena Hartman, pioneer that paved the way for ladies like this to be able to do things, to be able to be seen and heard in this day. And as you can tell, they are really, really, truly trying to destroy opportunities for Black people and in this country now, because you had a completely deranged and mixed up person in charge as president that has brought all of this hate and to the forefront. That's basically taking the country all the way back to the 1800s mentally, and hopefully it doesn't become physical. So keep your eyes open, folks. Celebrate. It's Black History Month. I'm starting it out with that dedication to Ena Hartman. And here we go, folks. You know who it is. You know who it is every time. You know who it is every time. Every time. KP Video News.